I'd like to call the meeting of the Urbana City Council to order. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Ammons, Mr. Brown,
Here.
Mr. Jacobson,
Here.
Mr. Madigan, Miss Marlin, Mr. Roberts,
Here.
Mr. Smythe,
Here.
Mayor Pressing.
Here. The first item is approval of the minutes of the previous meeting, which is September 19th, 2016.
Move approval.
Motion by Smythe, seconded by Roberts. Any additions or corrections? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That motion carries. Are there any additions to the agenda? Don't see any. Okay. Next is petitions and communications. I have. Did you want to say something? Heard a murmur over there. Okay. Bishop King James and Reverend Dr. Evelyn Underwood do not want to speak, but ask that their position that they're continually concerned about the Dr. Ellis subdivision sewers be recorded. Elderess Melinda Carr is concerned about the Dr. Ellis subdivision and does not wish to speak. Is there anyone else who would like to address the Urbana City Council? Okay, don't see anyone. We'll move on. Unfinished business. I don't think we have any that we're going to deal with. So we'll move to reports of standing committees. The Committee of the Whole. Who was the? That was Charlie. Okay, Charlie.
Okay. For the committee, I move ordinance number 2016-993, an ordinance adopting an amended and restated agreement for loan guarantee support by and between the City of Urbana Municipal Corporation and the Urbana Development Group, a not-for-profit community development corporation.
Second.
Okay, motion by Smythe, seconded by Jacobson. Any discussion? Would the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Brown,
Yes.
Mr. Jacobson,
Yes.
Miss Marlin,
Yes.
Mr. Roberts,
Yes.
Mr. Smythe.
Yes.
That motion carries.
For the committee, I move ordinance number 2016-994, an ordinance approving a supplement to the redevelopment agreement by and between the City of Urbana, Champaign County, Illinois, and 129 North Race, LLC in connection with the redevelopment project area number 2.
I second.
Motion by Smythe, seconded by Roberts. Any discussion? Yes, Dennis.
I took advantage of visiting the site and touring it with Matt and saw the challenges that he was facing, and I think that the funding that we're going to support him with is useful and will help him succeed in that venture.
Anyone else? Would the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Brown,
Yes.
Mr. Jacobson,
Yes.
Miss Marlin,
Yes.
Mr. Roberts,
Yes.
Mr. Smythe.
Yes.
That motion carries.
Ordinance number 2016-989, an ordinance revising the annual budget ordinance for fiscal year 2016-17, existing TIF district revisions in central TIF district. For the committee, I so move.
Second.
Motion by Smythe, seconded by Marlin. Any discussion? Would the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Brown,
Yes.
Mr. Jacobson,
Yes.
Miss Marlin,
Yes.
Mr. Roberts,
Yes.
Mr. Smythe.
Yes.
Mayor Pressing.
Yes. That motion carries.
For the committee, I move ordinance number 2016-990, an ordinance dissolving the special tax allocation fund and terminating the designation of the downtown Urbana tax increment redevelopment project area within the City of Urbana, Champaign County, Illinois.
And I'll second.
Motion by Smythe, seconded by Roberts. Any discussion? Would the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Brown,
Yes.
Mr. Jacobson,
Yes.
Miss Marlin,
Yes.
Mr. Roberts,
Yes.
Mr. Smythe.
Yes.
That motion carries.
Okay, next is ordinance number 2016-991, an ordinance of the City of Urbana, Champaign County, Illinois, removing certain properties from the downtown Urbana tax increment redevelopment project area number 2. For the committee, I so move.
Second.
Motion by Smythe, seconded by Jacobson. Any discussion? Would the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Brown,
Yes.
Mr. Jacobson,
Yes.
Miss Marlin,
Yes.
Mr. Roberts,
Yes.
Mr. Smythe.
Yes.
That motion carries.
Next is resolution number 2016-962R, a resolution deeming certain funds in the Special Tax Allocation Fund for the Downtown Urbana Tax Increment Redevelopment Project Area as surplus funds and directing the payment and distribution thereof for 2016. For the committee, I so move.
Second.
Motion by Smythe, seconded by Marlin. Any discussion? Would the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Jacobson?
Yes.
Ms. Marlin?
Yes.
Mr. Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Smythe?
Yes.
That motion carries.
Okay, for the committee, I move resolution number 2016-963R, a resolution approving and authorizing the execution of an agreement between Online Solutions LLC, known as CitizenServe, and the City of Urbana for automated services related to building safety.
I'll second.
Motion by Smythe, seconded by Roberts. Any discussion? Would the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Jacobson?
Yes.
Ms. Marlin?
Yes.
Mr. Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Smythe?
Yes.
That motion carries.
And the last item is ordinance number 2016-992, an ordinance revising the annual budget ordinance for fiscal year 2016-17, automated systems for building safety. For the committee, I so move.
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Smythe, seconded by Roberts. Any discussion? Would the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Jacobson?
Yes.
Ms. Marlin?
Yes.
Mr. Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Smythe?
Yes.
Are you forgetting something,
Mayor Prost.
Madam Clerk? Yes. That motion carries. Okay. Thank you. Now, reports of special committees. Any reports from special committees? Reports of officers. Libby Tyler, Community Development Director.
We had a busy week last week, and I wanted to make special mention of the Regional Neighborhood Networks Conference that we co-sponsored along with the City of Champaign that took place in this community and largely at the Hilton Garden Inn. It was really a fantastic event. We had over 300 neighborhood and community leaders from throughout the Midwest participate, and you could tell how excited they were with the accommodations of the conference and the sessions. And I really want to thank publicly Kelly Murkowski and John Ruffin, who were the co-chairs of the conference, and also many of our neighborhood leaders were able to attend, and we were able to assist with that, as well as several of the council members and the mayor were there in attendance, and our very own Robin Arbiter, who has been with the Learman neighborhood, and I don't know if Dennis would also report this, but she was nominated and recognized as a neighborhood leader with the as a nominee of the Stella Stewart Award, and we and city staff had 2 sessions that we provided in addition to a tour of our gardens in the community in Urbana. We also had a session focusing on our work with Habitat for Humanity. This was presented by Sheila Dodd and Matt Redgick in community development, just focusing on the joint projects that we've done over the years with blight reduction, as well as providing additional affordable housing opportunities. I presented, along with Caitlin Lill, with the Urbana Park District on providing affordable housing in a park-like setting, and we talked there about the Crystal View Townhomes and the Highland Green projects, in particular their relationship to Crystal Lake Park. And I must say I was able to attend several of the other sessions, and it was great to hear a lot of neighborhood support for the types of programs that we do in Urbana. And I know that the mayor heard this as well with our nuisance abatement ordinances and our efforts working with partners on affordable housing. So I feel like we're came back with lots of additional ideas, but I feel that we're really on the right track for improving our neighborhoods. So I know that's a long report, but we've been working on this for a year, and it was a great success. We're very, very proud of everybody who participated.
Dennis.
Yeah, and to double up on that, of course, it's the first one that I've attended, partly because it was here, and I hadn't really been tracking this conference, but I was very impressed by the enthusiasm and the dialogue that took place in a lot of the sessions. I attended several of them, and Karen Foley from Bowling Green gave a great one on advocating effectively for your neighborhood. I thought that was a really good one. And the interesting thing to me was that some of the people that community development sponsored to attend, who normally would never have gone, from the Learman neighborhood, attended that one as well and really got a lot out of it. So I appreciate that very much, community development. And yes, Robin Arbiter, who's kind of like a star performer for the Learman neighborhood, was nominated for the city of Urbana for the Stella, I can't remember her last name, Stewart Award. She didn't actually cop the award, but she was recognized for being a participant from our community.
And I'd like to say that the people that we talked to about the ordinances that Urbana has passed on making sure that landlords run their properties well as a way of reducing crime, it was kind of astounding to look at the FBI statistics that in the 11 years from 2004 up to the end of 2015, the last complete year, the serious crime rate in both Champaign and Urbana decreased, and especially in Urbana, we had a 70% reduction in serious crimes, which is kind of remarkable. And a lot of the people in the audience were kind of astounded that we could do things like fine landlords for not doing things right or take people to court for not doing things right. So I felt that we've really achieved a lot by the coordination that goes on between the police department, the community development department, the fire department, and public works, that we meet every week and talk about problem properties, and we have, you know, put the laws in place to actually get the job done, and we have real measurable results. So, anyone else have a report? Yes. Bill Gray.
It's more of an announcement, but I wanted to let you know, and there'll be other notices going out for the Curtis Road Corridor Study public meeting, which will be held on Thursday, October 13th, between 6 and 7:30 at the Church of Christ. The Curtis Road Corridor Study includes a 4.6 mile of Curtis Road from Neal Street on the west end of US 45 to which is US 45 to High Cross Road, which is Illinois 130 on the east end. And the goal of the study is to identify infrastructure that facilitates mobility within and between the surrounding jurisdictions, as well as supports and protects the disparate surrounding land uses, including the University of Illinois agricultural research and educational fields known as the South Farm. So there's several jurisdictions in this corridor. If you recall, in the last two long-range planning studies, reports, this was a study area kind of clouded as to ill definition pending this study. So there's federal dollars to help pay for this. There's no local dollars paying for it. And if anyone has an interest in this corridor and its development, particularly for mobility purposes, please attend Thursday, October 13th from 6 to 7:30 at the Church of Christ, which is located at Philo and Windsor Road. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Any other reports of officers? Okay, we'll move on to new business. First, we have ordinance number 2016-10-095, an ordinance approving a major variance to allow the construction of a pergola, is that how you pronounce it? Pergola, with solar panels that encroaches 12 inches into the 18-inch required east side yard setback in the R2 single-family residential zoning district at 209 West Indiana Avenue.
Thank you very much. I'll try to be brief. So the subject property is on Indiana, located generally between Carl Park and the high school. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here on this one. So this is an aerial view of the property. Indiana's up here. This is the existing house. What's being requested is a structure located approximately here behind the garage that would have solar panels as a roof, basically. The issue is, however, is that it would be located about 6 inches from the property line, whereas this kind of a structure would ordinarily be required to be 18 inches from the property line. As you can see, the existing garage is, it lines up about with the existing garage, so the garage is already about 7 to 9 inches from that property line. So this would not really encroach much more than the current garage. Here are some images of what the that pergola with the solar panels would look like from a few different angles here. In essence, the reason it would be located behind the garage here is twofold. One, in order to maximize solar exposure, there are a lot of trees in this area, so a lot of this area is shaded. And also because the control panels for the existing solar panels that already exist on the garage and parts of the house is located here in the garage, so this would be the most convenient location to have the new solar panels. The Zoning Board of Appeals heard the matter on September 21st. No one came in opposition. And in fact, in the packet, 3 neighbors, and let me go back here to show you which ones, 3 neighbors have provided letters of support, those that are immediately adjacent, in particular this one right here, which is the side yard that would be most impacted, as well as this neighbor here. All are in support of the application. So the ZBA on September 21st did find that the variance criteria are met, and they unanimously voted to recommend approval of this variance with one condition, that it is constructed in general substantial, in substantial compliance with the site plan and the renderings. Staff would, of course, agree with that recommendation.
Diane?
I support this. It's another good example of how we can help homeowners bring their old houses, adapt new technology to their old houses. So I think this is a good use of the ordinance.
Second.
Okay, motion by Marlin, seconded by Smythe. Dennis?
Yeah, I was reading the notes, the minutes from the Zoning Board of Appeal meeting, and besides the 3 letters of written letters, they noted that they spoke with 26 of their neighbors. I mean, that's a lot of neighbors.
They went above and beyond, yes. And
went
I'm
beyond.
sorry, the applicant is here should you have questions directly for him.
And then the size of the pergola roof, whatever. Pergola, I was right the first time. It's sort of dictated, right, by the width and the length of the panels.
Correct.
It didn't seem like there were any lap over of extra roofing on the roof structure. It was basically to fit the panels themselves.
That's my understanding, yes.
So they're not asking for anything that is above and beyond what is absolutely necessary to achieve what they're hoping for.
Correct.
Yeah, okay. Well, I support that.
Bill?
Yeah, I support this. I think in this whole neighborhood, it's really hard to find spots that aren't shaded. I know we just had the solar tour on Saturday after the Neighborhood Network Conference. The sun did come out, and I managed to get to a couple of those. And there are 3 in the neighborhood, but they have to be pretty creative about which roof surfaces they use because of all the trees and the sun angle and everything. So that sure seems like a special circumstance. And also, everyone I spoke to is real happy with the economic return because they're on the sell side of renewable energy credits, not buying them. So everything's working out pretty good, I think, with solar when you can put it there.
Eric?
So I'm totally in support of this, but I just have to think of a slight irony. We've always worked so hard to be and are so proud of being Tree City, USA, and now nobody can put solar panels anywhere.
It works in the winter. Charlie?
Yeah, I'm just jealous because I can't. I'm one of those houses where there are too many trees and the wrong angles to do this. I wanted to do it, and the economic return just isn't there. So I'm just jealous.
Okay, we have a motion by Marlin, seconded by Smythe. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Jacobson?
Yes.
Ms. Marlin?
Yes.
Mr. Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Smythe?
Yes.
That motion carries. Finally, I have an appointment to the Design Review Board. I would like to appoint Mary Alice Wu for a term to expire June 30th, 2019.
Second.
Motion by Smythe, seconded by Jacobson to approve her appointment. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed? That motion carries. And there being no further business, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.